I would agree that that's old school is where I would also go. But I want like an old school 70s wagon. That's not unobtainable.
Those things that are $2,000 to buy.
Yeah, exactly. It can happen. If you got $2,500, you can pretty much buy one. But an actual rust-free, I don't even care if it's rust-free, to be honest.
Nah, I want the Rot Box.
I just think it would be the coolest thing in the world
to put on YouTube
in an old school wagon. Something that we have to build a tent onto the garage door because it's too long to fit in the shop. That gets me excited.
We're going to have to do that with the Catalina.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so we just got a couple more questions here left. What is your must-have or your favorite tool in the shop? I like that one.
That's tough because practical me.
It's tough because he can't find any of them. They're all in my truck.
That's true. With where we started and the tools we had, practical me would say Bertha. That's our giant
Big Bertha.
Black 20-pound pry bar.
That is a 50-pound Harbor Freight wedge pry bar. I think I paid like $60 for that.
She does a lot of work for us.
Yes.
But I would have to say, since this last season, I bought myself a torch for Christmas. I'd probably have to go with that. We used to do everything without it, and I realized that's perfectly fine. Most people, a lot of people still do. But if we run out of gas on a Saturday, we'll say to hell with it and shut things down until we can go fill it back up on Monday.
Like the world is going to end if we run out of gas in the torch and they're not open. To the fact that I went out and just bought a whole second setup.
Yeah.
We have a complete backup second torch in the shop, and we grab a tank off of that and go, all right,
we're running
get more gas on Monday. Yep. Yeah, torch is definitely a must-have. For me, you know what? You guys know how much I love to weld, so I'm going to have to say it was really awesome when we got our first Chicago Electric Harbor Freight $79 special wire feed flux core welder. There was nothing in the world I couldn't weld with that thing. And then we finally upgraded, as you saw in one of our other videos, to the really nice Vulcan. Is that the OmniPro? OmniPro 220 multi-welder. Holy smokes, is that thing cool. That's still the coolest thing in the shop to me. Now that we've added gas to it, it's even better, to the point where it makes me nervous for everything we go grab out of the barn that we didn't weld with gas, even though it worked fine for years.
Exactly.
And the brush guard on my truck is still attached, so with our road conditions where we live in the winter time, I'm surprised that's still on there. That was welded with Chicago Electric, so I would definitely have to say the Omni welder.
We got one left?
One question left. What is the worst thing that's ever happened to you on the track?
I could answer yours, but I'll answer mine. I would have to say the start of this season. That's stupid Prism.
Perfect.
Worst thing to happen to me would be doing everything to, get that spot for that Derby again and get Jeff involved so that we could have a team and build those cars, build them on YouTube. That's where our YouTube channel is getting its start, all that cool stuff. And I drive that stupid thing onto the track and it shuts off, and I let my entire team down. That's one of those things that'll probably haunt me when me and this dumbass are 70 years old in our rocking chair, not able to walk because of the stupid shit we did.
Who are you again?
Exactly. That one will probably still haunt me. I won't be able to remember my name, but I'll remember that stupid car shutting off at Lodi.
Oh, you know what?
How's your wrist?
Whenever that happened, I immediately thought, it's no big deal. It's demolition derby, stuff like that happens all the time. I felt bad, honestly, for a week or so after that, because Cody was down, and you could tell the vibe in the garage wasn't the same, and you never want to see somebody throw in the towel or anything like that, and I'm glad he never even had those thoughts cross his mind out loud. But I didn't think much about that, man. It wasn't that big of a deal. It felt like it definitely affected you more than everybody. You know, even Jeff was like, man, it happens. It's not that big of a deal. Let me tell you guys, that's the biggest deal in the world. That's also the worst moment of my life this year. And remember, I broke my arm and had my shoulder ripped off. Ended up in an ambulance. It was a pretty good year. It was a crazy year for us. But the worst thing in the world that happened to me was whenever I drove the AMC wagon out onto the track in Rosholt. Rosholt. Pulled up to the wall, went forwards, went backwards, went forwards, went backwards. I said, all right, I got a good packed line. I like to do that to make sure everything's working right. They dropped the flag. I stomped the gas. The motor just revs to high heaven, and it doesn't go anywhere. I rolled backwards. Couldn't go anywhere. Never made one hit. The only reason I got off the wall is because it's kind of on a hill. That is the worst feeling in the world, to turn around and see, you know, your best friend, your teammates over there kicking ass, and I'm so glad that that still happened. But driving your car out on the track flawlessly, pulling up to that wall, and then it not leaving the wall, now I see why that got in Cody's head. That is by far, and let's not forget, I'm the moron that it got down to just 2 people and I broke my stick and thought the derby was over because there was another guy hiding up in the corner or up by the wall that I thought was out a long time ago. Nope, that's still not the worst thing. That's the dumbest thing that's happened. But the worst thing is your car not coming off the wall. Guys, if that hasn't happened to you, we'll look back on it and laugh about it next year whenever it happens again at some point, because it's just one of those stupid things that, you know, you can check everything in the world on your car and that can still happen. It's, you know, there's a lot of things you can do to prevent it, obviously, but it's one of those just freak things that's possible. So,
is that the last one?
That's the last question for now.
I thought Brett had a good question.
Oh, that's right. Brett has a very censored question.
Unfortunately, I did hear about this one. Thanks, Brett.
I got 9 million comments on Facebook right now since we did this 30-minute video because I posted a picture of Cody eating breakfast.
Yeah, we're up there, that's for sure.
Nice. If we have to post it in 2 parts, we can.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Brett Brecklin. Should I say it the way he said it, or do I...
Just say it the way he said it. If I can't figure out the bleep button, I'll deal with it.
Sorry, Mom. How does it feel to be so fucking awesome? And how do you deal with it?
That must be directed at you. Ain't nothing awesome about my ugly ass.
I told Brett, thank you, because I've been begging Cody to use the bleep button on our videos so far, and we still don't even know if we can do it. But
I've seen other guys do it, so I'm assuming my software probably has a way, but
He said that's all right, we'll give Cody another chance. I'm fucking happy to grant you the opportunity.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that.
Brett, we wouldn't be so awesome without you.
I hope you're having fun at work today.
That's right. We offered him up a seat, and he said no.
Yeah.
He said, I'm too cool.
Exactly. Brett, I will never know what it's like to be awesome. I will never have balls that hang as low as yours. We appreciate you guys following along. As always,
get goosed.
See you at Blizzard Bash.